Hey, what's up, everyone? This is the Amerime Junkies. We are Amerime Media. And we'll start off with the gentleman who just survived a severe death drop to my left.
It's hot as fuck, fam. High as Demon Engine and fucking yeah. I'm dude, introducing the Queen.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Queen Nick here. Hashtag Queen Nick. Go ahead and shop Serpentine Fire. That's hashtag shop Serpentine Fire. That's Serpentine Fire 215 on IG.
And of course, I'm Salty Live 215. We are the Amerime Junkies. Today, we're going to be talking about some gatekeeping in the community and maybe a toe or two into cancel culture and the issues in that. But first, I got a few things going on in the Geek Report.
Ooh,
Uh,
what you got?
well, first and foremost, looks like God of War Ragnarok or Boy Part 2.
Wow.
Looks like it's going to be delayed to 2022.
I'm
Uh,
fine with that.
Come again?
I'm fine with that.
You're fine with that? Well, of course that kind of does hinder Sony's projections for their fourth quarter because they were expecting a big uptick with the release of that game. Me personally, I'm just like, okay, whatever. Eventually, I'm just waiting for the next game series where Kratos attacks another religion. That's all. Like that just again, it just seems like that's where it's gonna go.
I don't know, yo.
The
He ain't
next
standing up to Egyptian and African gods, and he definitely ain't standing up to Hinduism.
I don't know. One of their gods literally has like eight hands and eight swords. I definitely
Shiva,
feel like that's
the
yeah.
god of destruction. I,
I
I
definitely
got mad props and love and respect for Kratos, but I don't know about that one, Chief.
what any thoughts on the God of War series, Neek?
Honestly, I tried to play that game. I was trash. Garbage. So, yeah.
It's okay.
There,
It's all
there was
right.
a, there was a. I remember a serious debate in high school about God of War. It was like Kratos versus Link, and like
Huh?
motherfuckers was ready to go to war for this shit. Now, mind you, I do know Link is Zelda, but yes, Kratos versus
No,
Link.
no, you did not just do that.
No, it's not Zelda. So sorry. I'm so sorry.
Link is from the game with the title Zelda, but Link is
Legend
not
of
from.
Zelda. So he's not Legend of Zelda. Zelda.
Mm,
Thank you for.
Nigga, you know what I said. You know what I meant. God damn it.
mm.
I don't know. It could be interpreted the wrong
Fuck the
way.
both of you. Fuck the both of you. Okay.
Cancel Nick.
Don't cancel me. Don't cancel me for that. Listen,
Thank
I
you,
just call
person
it
in the
Zelda because
background.
who has time to say Legend of Zelda? Like, nigga, you knew what I was talking about. You knew what I was fucking talking about.
The same way motherfuckers got time to say God of War.
You know what? Fuck you, son. Fuck you.
Plowing ahead. Um, I just recently wrote a review for this show, so this really does piss me off. Netflix has canceled Jupiter's Legacy, and they're gonna go look at. They're gonna go produce a spin-off show involving the villains. What the entire fuck is going on? And I've been trying to be a good noodle. I try to hold back my f bombs, but no, this is some dumb shit right here. It really, really is. Like you just painstakingly went through one season of great introductions, decent origin story, and a piece by piece storytelling for the things to come, just to swipe it at its fucking feet. Netflix, this is like Outbreak all over again. But at least in Outbreak, we got a decent character arc for all the main fucking characters. Ah, mm.
And my camera's starting to fuck up.
It's
Your
just
rage,
so aggravating by Netflix.
your
So
rage just
it's
broke my camera.
Sorry.
Y'all gonna stop judging the fuck out of me, okay?
No one's
See,
judging.
this is what we talking about gatekeeping. This is what we talk about gatekeeping.
We have moved on.
Have we?
Are you
Corey?
still?
Have we all moved on?
Are you?
Have we
Are
all
you
moved
still
on,
rattled?
Corey? Yes.
Are you now on Corey's time? Are you back in 2020?
My word, Niko. Are you still rustled?
Wait, what?
Are your jimmies rustled?
You know what?
Are you rustled, buddy?
I hate y'all.
It's okay. We still love you. And in other news, John Wick 4 just made a very interesting announcement today. I have no words for it, but if 13 Almighty can run that clip of that ass whooping, look who might be joining the fold.
Fucking.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
There's an announcement for John Wick 4, and looks like Bush might be entering.
Damn. Was that Donnie Yen? That was Donnie.
Yes, Donnie Yen. Donnie Yen, who, let's be honest, has been on quite the hot streak. Just finishing off the Ip Man franchise, which is pretty much China's version of Rocky.
You.
Am I what?
No lies told, though. No lies told.
Yeah, it really he really is China's Rocky, but it looks like he might be entering the fray against Keanu Reeves, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't see this going well for Baba Yaga. I mean, in part 2, his greatest adversary was Ruby Rose and Common. Then in part 3, he killed the Iron Chef dude who technically really is a real life badass. And now we have Donnie Yen who just playing his badass. Listen, I understand.
Wait, is he playing a villain?
He might be playing a villain.
This is gonna be interesting. I've never seen him play a bad guy, and I don't like. Has any of his work ever he played a bad guy?
Yes, he has played a bad guy once. It was in the sequel to Shanghai Noon, Shanghai Nights, which starred Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson. Ironically, there was a fight scene between Donnie Yen and Jackie Chan that was cut out of the original movie. You can check for that fight scene somewhere online, hopefully. But Donnie Yen has played a bad guy, so
Yeah, I think I do kind of remember that, just like briefly though.
But in the world of John Wick, everybody's a bad guy.
Yeah, nobody got
I
clean.
mean, yeah, because everybody's scumbags. That makes sense. It's the scumbag world.
I wouldn't say scumbag because I gotta admit, there's a certain decorum and way that this whole assassin world works. And I kind of have to respect it, especially the way they operate.
Honor amongst thieves, yeah.
Yeah, but it's to a point where even the assassins know there's certain rules you just don't break.
Don't you dare start a fight in that goddamn hotel. Don't you do it.
Yo, remember that shit?
That is sacred.
Yo,
ground.
yo, like Keanu Reeves and Common was like fighting to the death, but as soon as they got in the lobby of the hotel, they just had to stop. It was just like, oh.
They just sitting there looking at each other, like giving each other the side eye like a motherfucker.
Like, I ain't gonna break the rule, are you? Nope. Fine.
Like, swing first, bitch. Swing first.
I see you in the streets then, nigga. And we all saw what happened to that one assassin who did try and kill John Wick inside the hotel. She got murked swiftly. Wasn't a thought, wasn't even a well curated monologue. It was like, yeah, you gotta go. And then of course John Wick broke that rule as well, and the whole world's been trying to kill him ever since.
The dude, he's the same dude from American Gods, is it not?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So this nigga was only looking out for himself anyway.
He could only look out for John to such an extent, because at the same time he still had to look out for himself. I understand how Winston operated that situation.
I don't, because at the end of the day, he had the Continental doing what he wanted it to do and said, fuck the high table. Yeah. We're not going to forget that, are we?
Self-preservation is the thing, but on to the next one so we can start this goddamn podcast. It's hot as fuck in the room.
All right. Last piece of news. Word on high seems that the World Wrestling Entertainment Federation, or the WWE, might be trying to sell the entire company off to, from what it looks like, either NBC, CBS, or Fox, especially with their latest surprise round of firings. One of them including one of their big names, Braun Strowman. The man stands at 6'10" and 375 pounds of lean muscle, and is actually one of their larger names. But just a few days ago, him along with several other wrestlers were just cut off at the feet.
What'd he do? Kick a puppy?
No, he's acting. From what I understand, it looks like Vince McMahon. No, it's not that at all. He's actually been doing a great job. It just seems like Vince McMahon might actually be trying to sell off the company. I don't want to believe that. I just want to think it's another one of WWE's really stupid moves, because they're really known for that. They're really known for their stupid moves. The ratings have been in the tanker for the last several weeks, and from what I've been watching, yeah, things haven't been going good. But that is the Geek Report. We'll be right back after this brief message and talk about all this gatekeeping. Hey y'all, we are back. And right now we're going to be talking about gatekeeping, who's doing it, and why they suck. Where do we start? Where do we start?
Start with who's doing it.
We can do fucking anime, video games, comics, movies. It's just a shit ton of gatekeeping.
Well, gatekeeping itself has always been some folks who decided to build a hierarchy in their mind of what's going on in and around a particular culture. Here we're going to be talking about nerd culture, of course. And there's always people trying to hold folks back, making sure that they don't get seen and or heard. And a lot of times it's going to be awkward. It just sounds like a lot of times it's the lighter shade of our spectrum of the Caucasoids, perhaps.
Colonizers.
There you go.
Basically. But it do be some of us too, though.
Oh yeah, because now I've actually heard firsthand in our own from some of the very cosplayers who listen and follow us that there are gatekeepers as of many hue. I'll leave it at that. Of course, in our latest issue of Amerime Wire magazine, there's a piece written about gatekeeping in the cosplay community by Khalid Choudhury. I hope I didn't mess up their last name. But yeah, there's gatekeeping is a real thing, and uh, I think we should. I think I would like to start with gatekeeping in video games and where it started, because the gatekeeping of video games ended up being an accident, but now
That
people are holding on to that accident.
too out of control. If you don't play COD, if you don't play Apex, you're not a
I'm
real
gonna go.
gamer. If you play mobile games, you're not a real gamer. If you're not a part of the master race, you're not a real gamer.
I'm gonna go back a little. I'm gonna go back further than that. So I know where you're
And,
going,
I
and I
mean,
appreciate it.
it's fine. I'm always interested when you show your age.
Shut the fuck up. Long time ago, back in the '80s, not the '80s that they nostalgicize now, but back in the '80s, where cocaine flowed like a
Flowed
rolling
like
river.
a
I'm
And
sorry.
crack was a thing.
flowed
Ah,
like a
yes, and of course, crack. Thank you for reminding me about the other side of it, Niko.
flowing streams of cocaine where you can skip your crack rock across during the blazing heat of the summer. The good
You
old
ain't
days.
shit. But
People was having
when
coke parties.
but I love how she just chimes in and then chimes right out. Is that what you doing? We're cha sliding.
Listen, I'm hungry, so I'm trying not to be disruptive.
It's okay. Nico's having a one-person mukbang. Shout out to Chef Atari. But anyway, back then when video game consoles were starting to go into uh, department stores honestly didn't know where to put them. They really didn't know. Do they keep them over with the stereos and the Betamaxes and the VCRs, or they put them in the toy section? And when they put them in this toy section, they were like, "Well, is it a girls thing or is it a boys thing?" And they were just like, boys? Okay, yeah." And it's been in the boys section, and over the years, a lot of guys have thought it's a boys club, and I'm
Which
just like,
stupid.
that's
I
it's
never
just dumb.
understood that. Like, why? Why would you? No, don't make it about sex. That's just you're missing out on more victims when you're playing video games. I want everybody to be a part of the community, so everybody can get clapped equally. Because I and I alone stand at the top of the mountain.
Engine is always ready to fold up, motherfucker.
But yeah, it's been like that ever since, and a lot of times during the '90s, it seemed like video game makers kind of kept following that flow because there were a very finite amount of games that even tried to appeal to women.
Well, I mean, The Sims.
Yeah, but like pre-Sims, what pre-Sims? I think you had what the random, I don't know,
I mean,
Barbie
you had
game.
Bloody Roar from
Bloody
PlayStation
yeah,
1, Bloody Roar 2.
fighting games have always all right. Hold on. Fighting games have always had.
Fighting games are the only one, at least this is for me, the only acceptable gatekeeping is when it comes to fighting games. And what I mean by gatekeeping, when I say that, more so, oh look, I'm on an online rank match. Are you about to get a promotion? Not today. That's the gatekeeping. Who told you to rank up
All
and
right,
beat shit?
but all right, that's
How
gatekeeping
dare
by
you?
combat. That's different.
That
I
is
like
the
to think
only
that that's
acceptable
different.
gatekeeping. Gatekeeping. Who said you
But
can have
even
a
but
promotion?
but even back then, I think in the first Bloody Roar game there was only one female option. In the first Street Fighter, there was one female option. In the first Mortal Kombat, there was one female option. It was like it literally took time for these things. Because wait, in Bloody Roar 1, was it the bat or was it the rabbit? I want to think it's the rabbit.
I think it was the bat.
Yeah, Jenny the bat. But then in the next one, you had four female characters. And then you had like the DOA series, and eventually the Tekken series kind of ran along as well. It was predominantly a lot of female featured fighters, but mainly because of jiggle physics.
Lord bless us.
Mainly because of what?
Jiggle physics.
Jiggle physics.
The
Is that what
reason
we're calling
is-
it now?
It's always
Well-
been jiggle physics.
Wow.
Have you
Can y'all,
played
can y'all
DOA,
explain
Nico?
Jiggle physics to our audience, please?
I can
Just in case they
jump
don't
up-
know.
Jump up and down.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna let you cover that one. But it's been like that, and in other aspects of gaming, it always tends to appear like a boys' club a lot of the times, especially in the esports arena. But there are some very dominant female teams who still get a lot of unnecessary things said towards them, and
I got a lot of unnecessary things said towards them, and it's disgusting and whatnot. And it needs to change and it needs to stop.
You know what they gotta do though?
Hmm.
The girls just gotta start getting just as bad as them. Like, I'll fuck you in the ass. Shut up, little bitch ass motherfucker.
I
you-
accept that type of shit. You can match that same energy. That's how you gotta beat them while they're
We matching energy all 2021, okay?
So do you think that might be a good way to calm it all down, is just to match that energy?
That's how that one.
That's not what you asked in the beginning. That's not what was said in the beginning, okay?
That's how,
You're posing this question now. No, I don't believe that. But here's the thing. We don't live in a perfect world where
No, we do
motherfuckers
not.
will actually listen to reason. So yes, for the motherfuckers that don't want to listen to reason and talk shit out and figure out like why the fuck they're acting like this, like fucking children, match that energy. Fuck out of here.
Also realize that especially those type of guys in these communities have a very their look on women in video games is almost comedic. Like they have an idea that's like from the 1950s.
Extreme,
Like
extreme leads to extreme. These dickheads with the fucking why are you on the game? You should be in the kitchen. If you lose, make me a sandwich. That type of bullshit. I never understood that bullshit, and I always got irritated by it because one, just hearing it is a thing, and it's not even directed towards me. Just hearing it, period, irritated me. Then I got motherfuckers hyped to start doing it. And I was just like, oh, now I gotta mute everybody in this goddamn lobby.
the one time I was actually with I was with a gamer girl, and she would make the sandwich joke all the time because I was the cooker in the house. She's like, listen, I'm gonna go finish off these rounds, go make mama a sandwich. And I was just looking at her like, wait, what? I'm just like, are you joking? Or do
You heard the lady.
No, I'll honestly be like, yeah, I'm not sure if you're joking or do you really want something to eat. And I ain't gonna lie, it was a few
Did she
times
give
I
you a
felt
little
some
pat
sort
on
of
the bottom too?
one time she did. No, one time she did because she was streaming and I walked past, but she was like, make mama a sandwich, and gave me a open hand slap on the ass. I was like, oh, hey.
Yes, mama.
I didn't say yes, mama.
No, that is hilarious.
But you
He
made
probably
me
was like, yeah, I'm gonna go make mama a sandwich.
I made her a sandwich, but then and it was off camera, and she was like, wait, did you really make me a sandwich? I was like, I wasn't sure if you were serious or not. She was like, I'm gonna stop making the sandwich too. I'm sorry.
She felt bad.
I,
But yeah, she gave you a little patting on the bottom to give you a little extra incentive.
but it's one of those weird things where yeah, when the game got switched, I really didn't know what to do. I was like, I guess I'm making a sandwich. I don't want no trouble.
People need to learn that you can trash talk without being racist and or sexist. Let the skills talk for you. And when people get upset with the skills, continue to let the skills talk for you.
Now another, you know what? One of the I see this online all the time. Whenever a woman says that she's into anime, it's always this one or two guys that pop up in the comments. Name your top 5 anime. Do you know what this is? And I'm just like,
what color was Goku wearing in episode 365 at marker 2 minutes and 20 seconds?
Those are the ones that don't get any type of ass whatsoever.
it's
I'm
not.
just say that.
I'm not even. I'm not even gonna go to that extent. It's just that
I'm going to go to
that's
that
how
extent.
you.
God damn it.
That's how you think. That's how you think this is gonna work. I'm like, first off, and hear me out. It's gonna sound a little nuts. Dragon Ball Z is not the end all to be all of anime.
Can we not? All right, like, look.
It's cool. It's fun. I do enjoy it. But
I just had.
there are a lot of characters that can beat Goku. One of them is actually Sailor Moon, but no one wants to have that conversation.
Oh, I would love to have that conversation. Go ahead, give him to him, Corey.
There's plenty
You
of
know what?
characters.
We're gonna
Can you
take this
explain that
clip.
one for me? Because I
We're gonna
actually want
take
to know
this
the
clip
schematics.
and we're gonna put it on Facebook and Instagram and just let people wild out.
Yeah, you definitely got to make that a clip.
If any real anime fan out there knows that there's a bunch of people that can sit there and clap Goku. Motherfucker, there's fucking people in the Dragon Ball universe that Goku can't beat. So I don't understand the existence of the Goku tards. But at the same time, I'm also tired of hearing that other end of this conversation. Any character showing any type of ability be on their show be like, oh, I bet they can beat Goku. I'm just like, fam, if they're not breaking planets in two, you can't beat Goku. We're just gonna leave that. That's the end of discussion. Go watch some other shit.
But they be coming through so strong, like, but can he beat Goku?
And I don't understand why. Like, we watched this man die on several occasions. It's like, calm down. I will say this though. Krillin solos the Baki universe. I made somebody upset with that.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. But yeah, but at the same time, it shows that when it comes to gatekeeping, a lot of it is the gatekeeping of the male gate based on the male gaze, and it's so narrow-minded that they miss out on a whole other world in the medium. It's like it's so tunnel vision. Like
It's bad.
one of our owns, Comic Boss. Comic Boss does not watch anime that doesn't have action in it. And I'm just like, all right, that's cool, but you're missing out on a lot. Like you just
I mean, if that's
genuinely
what he
are.
like, that's what he like. No,
Yeah.
That's shit.
But he'll never try and attack you for not liking something else that he likes. That's a big difference. Because the second he does that, he becomes a gatekeeper. See what happened there? Niko, have you ever experienced some gatekeeping? she eating her sandwich as she stepped away. Mm-hmm. Anyway,
What'd you say? Wait, no. What did you ask me?
have you ever experienced any gatekeeping?
Yes, I have. So, lots of times, actually. Anytime guys find out that I'm into cosplay, I like anime, or I like playing video games, motherfuckers turn the shit from an interview to an interrogation. It ain't even an interview; it's a fucking interrogation. Okay.
They got the bright light on you.
Like I just said, like the motherfucker came at me when I said I like Dragon Ball Z. This nigga really asked me about a specific episode at a specific timestamp about some shit, and I'm like, bitch, I don't like what, bitch, I don't even remember what color drawers I put on this morning. So for me, it's always been like a struggle to kind of like date within the nerd community, because a lot of the guys that I do come across end up being that way, and I just be like, yeah, I'm good. You don't deserve no pussy.
Ruining shit for the rest of us. I just want a girlfriend that loves to cosplay, play games, fucking watch anime. We can go to conventions together because your boy gets in for free. Y'all know about.
It's because we're working, Negro.
Yeah. Okay, and I could work and enjoy the con too. God damn it. I just want to find someone.
No, we couldn't. Otakon 2019.
Hold on. I've been going to conventions longer than at least you. Press wise, I've been going longer than GeeksMeCo, and I've been able to do the work and fucking enjoy the convention. I was just mentally and emotionally checked out that entire convention.
Heard that checked out.
But I just want to do that, but I can't find them because I got assholes being assholes and gatekeeping and being misogynistic. Also got to fight through an army of simps. Dear God, the simps.
Hey man, it's hard. Wait, it's hard out here for a simp.
They make it harder, goddamn.
When you trying to get these bitches to suck dick?
It's hard out here for a simp.
When you trying to get these bitches to suck your dick?
I don't even want head.
It's hard out here for a simp.
I just want the serotonin from titties, goddammit. Fucking simps making it difficult.
Every time a simp makes it extra hard, Demon Engine to get serotonin from titty. If you donate now, well,
if you can see the annoyed look on my face right now.
Through the eyes of an angel. But yeah, gatekeepers they really do suck. And gatekeeping in the cosplay community is definitely I have heard some of the cringiest of cringe stories, and this is and definitely a lot of these hit home for us because a lot of the gatekeeping is based off of this.
Based off of race. Fam, I was on TikTok today. I saw some girl, beautiful, excellent black queen, cosplaying Nezuko from fucking Demon Slayer. I went to the comments because I was going to comment something. The first fucking comment I see is Nezuko's not a monkey. I was just like, I'm about to lose shit.
Yeah, and it's so like I find that so weird and so strange because they'll be like, well, such and such isn't black. And I'm like, well, that same character, they're not Japanese either. But here we are.
Like, it truly doesn't make any sense. Like,
I mean, y'all remember that that cosplayer, the girl who decided to do Joker or whatever, her own version of the Joker.
and like motherfuckers lost their entire fucking mind over it because they were like, Joker's not black, and why is she trying to sexualize Joker? And like, it was a whole thing, and I'm just like, bitch, calm down. He's a fictional character.
First off, if you want to do a sexy cosplay of somebody, rock out.
First of all,
Rock
the
out.
people that the people that say they're like, oh, this character isn't black, I don't know what you're doing that for. I thoroughly believe that if they had the chance, they would cosplay Frieza.
Oh Lord. One of the most racist characters without actually saying the N-word.
Also, I thoroughly believe that if you cosplay Frieza, you're racist. I'm sorry.
Just for that engine, I have to do it now.
I feel like
I have to.
He's too racist.
You nakers. Wait.
Hello.
You know he wouldn't
Hello,
actually say
monkeys.
Hello, monkeys.
You're right. He wouldn't say the N-word. He would call us nakers.
Really?
Nakers.
Really? Is that where you're gonna go with this?
Yeah.
The nakers? The naker?
Or better yet, you know that one meme when he was pointing to Paris' dead body in the Broly movie. And, Broly, look, niggas be wild.
You know what?
I don't believe I don't believe you broke out the whole nakers thing though, because that, oh my goodness. For those who don't remember, a couple years ago, a news reporter was supposed to be talking about the Los Angeles Lakers, and somewhere along the line said Los Angeles Nakers, and a big thing came out. They were like saying she's racist, and she was suspended from the job for a period of time, I believe. I believe she got her job back. They were trying to cancel her. I mean, there have been plenty of flubs on live news stations, so I never knew what to make of it. Which I think will help us transition into a very interesting conversation about the cancel culture, or woke culture,
or the canceling of the culture, because that's really what it's become. The canceling of the culture.
After these messages,
some shit that does need.
Sorry to cut you off like that. We're back from the ad break.
It's okay.
I forgot that he was going to break, so
it's all right.
That's on me. But some shit do need to be canceled.
Some shit needs to be canceled, and then like other shit, just the canceling of shit needs to be canceled as well. There's an entire spectrum of this bullshit.
It really is.
Cancel culture, or woke culture. There's a few things that need to be said.
No. Don't put those two together.
Okay.
It's not the same.
Okay. You know what? You're right. And you know what? There's a piece. There's actually a piece I did forget to bring up during the Geek Report, because it definitely pertains to creators and them wanting to do their own thing. There's a Netflix show coming out based on the comic series The Sandman, created by author Neil Gaiman, and they revealed the cast for it, and it's pretty diverse, and it doesn't depict the characters exactly how they were from the original book. And Neil Gaiman actually had say on the casting. And of course, people were upset about the addition of black characters as well as a non-binary character. And Neil Gaiman gave this one statement: "I give all the fucks about the work. I spent 30 years successfully battling bad movies of Sandman. I give zero fucks about people who don't understand haven't read Sandman whining about a non-binary character or that black isn't white enough. Watch the show, make up your own mind.
Right, and mind your fucking
Y'all
business.
gonna
Mind the
stop
business that pays
disrespecting the
you, hoes.
motherfuckers that built
He
this
should have
country.
just let. He should have just had a hoe on the end of it, like hoe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Like
I don't
meaning
think
it.
that would have. I don't, I don't think that. I don't think. I think he might have lost me on that one. I'm like, bro, you don't talk like that.
He don't, but like I feel like it'd have just been a lot more like stern. He
That's just
meant businesses.
that's just like
Hey,
Stephen
record.
King
He
just
meant
saying Robert
businesses.
James, bitch.
He meant businesses.
Um, Another interesting piece. Seth Rogen recently said that he doesn't understand why comedians get upset about cancel culture. He just needs. He's like, people need to understand that some jokes just age badly, and that's okay. Yes and no, but at the same time, I think they were talk. I think they shouldn't have talked to Seth Rogen about that because
Yeah, that's
Seth Rogen has written comedies, but he himself is not a comedian, so he shouldn't have. I think his commentary on what comedians need to worry about doesn't mean shit.
I mean, I kind of agree with him to some degree, only because
When it
like
comes to
yeah,
older
some
jokes,
jokes do age horribly. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
But at the same token, I feel like for those who my bad. Can you hear me now?
yeah, we can hear you before.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Somebody was trying to call me. But yeah, like they those who are actually, going to these shows and stuff like that, like if you're trying to like I don't know, I find it weird that people start trying to heckle the comedians at the shows because they felt triggered by a joke. And it's like you came to a comedy show, dear. Like if your triggers are not together before you get there, then you should probably leave and go see a therapist to get them triggers in check because that's not the comedian's problem, that's not anybody else's problem, and you're ruining the rest of the show because you're in your fucking feelings. How about you
And
come up to him after the show and say, you know what, that fucking joke was not fucking funny, and I'll tell you why. You get what I'm
oh the
saying? But don't
fuck.
stop the whole fucking
Well,
show because that's selfish.
I just think it's really weird when people pay a ticket to go see a comedian and you know who the comedian is. You know their style. Why are you upset now?
Because they want to
Unless
be upset about something.
and I never
That's
understood
it.
that.
They just want to be. No, people. Now it's
people
the
just want,
outrage Olympics. It's no
yeah,
longer the
people just
oppression
want.
Olympics. It's the outrage Olympics. Who can get madder faster at whomever and anything?
Yeah,
Like, I'm sorry, go ahead, Engine. You were about to say something.
like just it's entirely just like I want to get mad at this and cause a whole scene. Everyone wants to get some type of clout by tearing somebody down that is famous, whether they did something or not. A lot of there's some shit when it comes to the cancel culture is completely valid on like yeah, that kind of person should be canceled, but a lot of the energy
Yeah,
I feel is wasted on like stupid shit. Motherfuckers getting
canceling Bill Cosby. Yeah, I get that.
canceling canceling motherfuckers for tweets from years ago.
Are you specifically pointing out Kevin Hart?
I'm not
It was
Kevin
more
Hart,
people
but
than
like
that for tweets that they put
it's
out.
been a
Yeah,
shit
no,
ton of
here's the
people
thing
that
though.
they've trying to
They should have
cancel
known
out.
better and should have been deleting them shits as they got famous. Like, come on now.
That's something you're not gonna fucking think about, especially if you post often. Especially if you're famous and you're already to the
You
point where
got
you
enough
have to
money
post
to pay
often.
somebody to go through your shit and delete some shit that's unsavory.
It really
If these
shouldn't fucking
motherfuckers can
matter.
scrub the internet of
Again
Beyonce at the Super Bowl looking crazy,
and again,
Oh
shit
no,
like
it's just
it's
that
still out there. Thank
really
you,
I
meme
mean,
shouldn't
some of
community.
it
fucking
is still
matter.
out there. Not all of them though.
Like there's a
Beyonce was
lot of the
going
shit that
level
people try
two.
to cancel they try to cancel people over shit that really don't fucking matter. Yeah, it was a joke. It was either a joke or something that shouldn't have been said. It's also always taken out of context. It's years ago, so the fucking shit that was acceptable just a few
I
years
mean,
ago is
even fucking
acceptable
Dave
now.
Chappelle explained that joke with that Kevin Hart told on Twitter. Like, who's actually smashing? Like he's right though. I ain't never heard of nobody coming out or whatever. They dad smashing the fucking dollhouse over their head. First of all, how the fuck you gonna get the dollhouse anyway? You gonna buy this shit first? Go to KB Toys,
Like, what the-
buy a fucking dollhouse just to smash this shit
That
over
shit
this
don't make no
nigga?
fucking
Like, that's a lot to
Exactly.
do. That's a lot to do. That is not
People
anybody's actual
wasting so
experience.
much
So if
time and
you're poking fun
energy
at anybody
on
And money.
specifically,
fake outrage rather than like what we really good cancel some of these corporations. But nobody wants
they
to
won't
fucking
cancel these
do about
corporations.
that.
Because look at Gucci, Louis, and everything else. Everything else that they put out blackface and all kinds of fuck shit, and they have allowed it, and motherfuckers still keep buying from these people, these same
H&M
people, these same labels.
H&M still selling out despite that coolest monkey in the jungle hoodie.
Oh god, I can't even.
Gucci.
Motherfuckers give a fuck about racism, but don't give a fuck about racism and all this extra shit. I could care less at this point.
It's just it's one of those weird things. Like I remember when the comedian Bill Burr, he was on Saturday Night Live, and he made a joke about um, Rick Moranis getting sucker punched in New York. He made the joke, and people laughed, and afterwards he was like, "Eh." Like, and mind you, he's on stage live. He's like, "Eh." People are probably gonna try and cancel me about over that. He's like, "Get over it." He's like, people are trying to cancel dead folks now, and this is apparently a true story because people were there was a cancel culture uprising over something John Wayne said in a magazine back in like the 70s.
But yet nobody's talking about the fact that they had Brooke Shields at 10 years old in fucking Playboy in the 70s. Nobody said that. Nobody talked about that. How she had a full page spread, nude, in the 70s. A child.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna talk about
I
that
ain't
though, huh?
even fucking know
You don't
about
want to cancel
that. I don't
Playboy
even
though,
fucking
right?
I don't even follow Playboy.
I know exactly the story you're talking about, and even with the information I have behind it, I just have to look at the parents like, so you thought this was good?
It explains why she ended up with Charlie Sheen. She had no protection whatsoever, not even from the people that's supposed to guard her most. There's a reason why she ended up with Charlie Sheen. Now, granted, she got the fuck out of that, but like, look at the shit. Look at the shit for what it is. You can see the events leading up to.
Yo, and the funny thing is, Charlie Sheen looks like cocaine cooked to perfection. Because somehow this guy definitely should have died the mid 2000s on the set of 2.5 Men, but somehow he prevails. Go figure.
Through sheer
That's because that
force of
motherfucker been
cocaine.
doing coke since the 70s. He's
Yeah, but I
perfected
mean,
his system.
Look at the guys from the Rolling Stones.
Cocaine
They
is
all outlived Michael Jackson.
I still
How
can't
the
believe that
fuck
shit.
does that happen?
I was expecting Mike to have a clone by now. You know, that clone was gonna be doing all them shows and shit. And Mike was gonna be sitting there enjoying his life, having fun with his kids and shit, having fun with his grandkids and his family.
I don't. It's just so weird. But
And then eventually, the clone Michael would be like, "All right, motherfucker, I'm tired of this." And then Mike would have to get all Joe Jackson on him.
Wow, it would come
Wow.
it would come full circle, Nico. Damn.
You always got to bring the story full circle. You know,
God
storytelling.
damn, that's dark. But
Then Mike will be like, "Damn, I really don't want to be this person." You know.
Yo, you have this well thought out.
Listen, man, I'd be playing in other people's lives sometimes. Celebrities
Damn.
mostly.
That's from playing The Sims.
Yep, pretty much.
That's
pretty much. Yep. That's from Sims gameplay. I can admit that.
I have a question. Is there a Sims file that has all of us under one roof?
No, but that'll probably be my next streaming game. Thanks for that, Corey.
Thank you, nigga.
No, to be perfectly honest, I thought this was something she might have already had done.
No, like I haven't created too many Sims like that. Like I think the last one I made was just to fuck around with like the new black hairstyles that I had and everything. But now that I got, black mods by black modders, I think I may make an Amerime team and we gonna be fine as fuck.
Shout out to the black mod community.
Every time someone puts me in their sim game, for some odd reason, I become either president or dictator of a small country.
Honestly, I'd put your like life goals as to be like the most notorious, like the goal of like deviousness, because you thrive in that. You definitely thrive in that.
Yeah, hence why I can't be famous. I'm gonna get canceled for breathing. I just know it.
I don't think you will get canceled. I just think
I'm
you're
gonna
gonna
get
have your
canceled.
own little cult.
Motherfucker, I was saying jokes on one of my streams, and I said a gay joke, a funny gay joke, considering majority of the people that commented and fucking was in the party with me laughed. And someone said that I'm homophobic because of it. Bitch, I drown more glizzies than
Wait,
you do.
the
Fuck
sad
you.
part is they don't realize we are part of the alphabet mafia. Like that's what bothered me.
Yes, you guys are.
I'm a glizzy goblin when I want to be.
I like how Corey threw that out there. Like, yes, you guys are. You see how he quickly moved to allyship real fast? He was like, not all of us.
I am an ally of the LGBTQ community. I just don't want to get arrested for anything this nigga says or whoever she sets on fire. Notice neither of them denied this.
What? I'm not setting somebody on fire though. I might
Niko,
but...
you're from Philly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If someone's gonna get upset for what I said, then y'all wasn't raised white. Cause last time I checked, sticks and stones could break my bones. Words never hurt me. I ain't even starting the bullshit yet. People mad at me. Oh boy.
My forehead is so big because of the disrespectful thoughts I keep to myself.
Facts.
Speaking of and other dumb cancel culture shit, and I cannot believe I have to bring this up again because for some weird reason, the part of the internet keeps persisting on this. Robert Downey Jr. in blackface for Tropic Thunder. And this is one of the biggest issues I have when it comes to...
This is just Generation Z, though, that got that issue. This is not millennials. This is Generation Z. Millennials have seen the movie, know what it's about, have context. Generation Z does zero fucking research, which is why they're Generation Z. Zero research.
And this is one of my biggest problems, especially when it comes to cancel culture and comedy. I think the younger generation does not understand what satire is, and that's very scary to me.
That's because they've been coddled. See, here's the thing. They grew up with millennials, but a lot of the millennials have seen some of the effects of, like, some of that satire, like some of the satire that goes overboard. And so because they've been exposed to that, they've kind of sheltered Generation Z from a lot of that. And because of that, Generation Z has become so like sheltered and sensitive. They're not used to things that are different. I have noticed with Generation Z, when you challenge their thoughts or their points of views, a lot of times you're anti this or you're phobic that, and it's kind of ridiculous because it's not always that.
As a member of the alphabet mafia and someone who's had dated and been in a relationship with several transgenders, apparently I'm now transphobic because I said I wouldn't want to date another transgender because of two bad situations I had. But now I'm transphobic because of it.
That sounds dumb.
Wait. I missed that. He got real quiet. He said it real quietly.
I am a member of the Alphabet Mafia, but apparently I'm transphobic. All because I don't want to date any more trans people because of the personal problems I had with my previous two relationships with trans persons. It wasn't because they were trans, it's because they're shitty people.
So wait,
But
so because I won't date light skinned dudes no more, does that mean I'm anti black?
you're a colorist.
Does that mean I'm light skin phobic?
You're a colorist. That's what that means.
I'm a
If you
colorist.
don't want
Am
to
I?
date, if you don't want to
Am
date,
I
if you don't
though?
want to
Because
date,
my experiences with
apparently,
these chicks have been.
apparently, yeah, you're a colorist because of that. If you
That's
don't want to,
weird. That's like okay, so is a lesbian
nope,
a misanderer
nope,
because she dates just women?
nope.
Look,
Oh, nobody got anything
Oh
about that.
no,
Nobody
no,
got
nope.
they
radio
don't got
silence.
issues about that. We won't call they if a man doesn't want to date another man or doesn't want to date a trans person, they're either homophobic or transphobic. But lesbians
Well,
don't like that.
here's the
But they're
thing.
not
I will say this: the men that say
they're
they
not
don't want to date
heterophobic.
trans women, some of them will sit there and say, "I'm super straight." What the fuck is that?
That's
What the
That
I
fuck
can
is
tell
that?
yo,
You
no,
don't
no. I
have to
can tell you
tell everybody
I can
that. You know?
specifically tell you why super straight while people are been on that super straight trend because I've seen a bunch of little boys have to deal with it. Just like, well, I just want to date a woman. I just want to date a cis woman, and then people would attack them for just having a preference of not dating a trans person or dating just wanting to date a cis woman. And they're just like, well, you're transphobic, and if it's since it's
But
transphobic to be
that's why
straight,
I tell women, that's why I tell people the same thing I tell the black community is the same thing I tell the alphabet mafia. Stop waiting on motherfuckers to see you. You gotta see you first. And at the end of the
mhm.
day, if they ain't fucking with you, then they ain't for you. Period. Period. Stop
I've
asking for
spoken.
motherfuckers to do things for you. Do it for yourself. Be the change you want to see. If you want to see more trans people in sports, make a sports league for trans people. If you want to see more trans people have roles in movies and TV shows and shit, make those shows. Create those opportunities for those people. Like, stop complaining and bitching and moaning and venting about this shit and actually do something to solve the issue.
you
Because
won't do
bitching and
that.
moaning about it only creates more bitching and moaning. It doesn't
They won't,
solve the issue at
they
all.
won't do that. Why? Because it's work. They ain't finna go
Yo,
put in
I'm
work.
not gonna lie. That phrase right there, you just delved into that Kevin Samuels territory.
Woo, me?
What?
No, engine.
What do you
What?
say?
He was like, it's easy to complain about something, but when it comes to doing the work, that's when you get quiet.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I don't even like this dude like that, but I will say that some points that he does make is true. Like
Like,
I can say that a broken clock is right twice a day. So at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day,
like
even though you
some
might
of the
not
points
like
he
him,
make,
even though he you feel like he is, anti-black woman, he has certain points.
he is anti anybody that ain't on this shit. From what I've been seeing of his content, because I've seen him rip apart into men just as much as he rip
Yeah.
apart into women. But for
Yeah,
some
I've
odd
seen
reason,
those too. I've seen him rip into the
every
men, and that shit is
everybody
not
only wants to
fun.
focus on when he rips apart into women. It's just like if you just want to complain.
I
Nobody wants to
watched.
They
complain.
expect him. They expect him to have kid gloves with the women. That's why they
Fuck
expect him
no.
to play with kid gloves with the women, and he doesn't. He takes the glove off. He like, no,
I've
everybody
watched
want to be
him
smacked.
several times in full context because sometimes like his stuff will be like an hour and some change long, and I watch just like I don't want the sound bite. I want the whole thing because it's easy. It's easy to peg somebody a particular way if you're only shown that particular light.
That's another thing this generation does with the whole cancel culture and thing. They will chop and edit as much as they need to fit a narrative that doesn't exist.
Mm.
And
Or to
it's
create a narrative that
yeah,
does that
like
didn't
create
that it
a
didn't start
narrative
out to
Hmm.
be.
that fucking doesn't exist. And then one rampant with this shit too. And no one's putting these little motherfuckers in check because for some odd reason, none of Gen Z actually wants to sit down, shut the fuck up, and actually listen.
No, they don't. They just want to be heard, and they don't want to hear nobody else. It's their own
They want to be
voice.
heard, but a lot of them don't have shit to say.
You got a
I
motherfucking
have
thing.
noticed though that some of the men who call themselves, trans women, who are in sports and stuff like that, a lot of them could not make it through with their own gender, and so they switched over to the women's side and are completely like demolishing the women, of course, because they're genetically men. And a lot of people want to be upset, like, oh, that's transphobic. No, he's not. This is not who
No,
he is. He's choosing to do this because it's getting him somewhere. He couldn't
That-
go and be himself of who he was
That
because he wasn't succeeding.
on the
And I'm
opposite
talking about
end,
specifically this one cyclist I saw. He was like, oh, well, blah, 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 this, that, and the third or whatever. And when you looked at his times as far as in his cycles and whatnot on the men's side, he didn't qualify. But if you look at
I
the
thought
times
you was
on the
talking about
women's
Lady
side,
Goliath.
he did qualify. And that's the only way
no.
he could qualify.
Mm,
I thought you were talking about Lady Goliath.
no. Who's Lady Goliath though? Please elaborate.
That's what I'm calling them, Lady Goliath. The one trans
Oh,
athlete that switched over and it was an MMA.
you're talking about Fallon Fox.
Cracked the
Fuck
fucking
her.
skull.
Now, I'm a very big contact sports fan. I was part of the culture, and even today, I still like to keep up to date with things. Um, Fallon Fox, before he transitioned over, was a par to subpar striker in the men's division. Not too many wins. I think maybe two in total, maybe more. I don't know, but a lot of L's. Tra- uh, Transitioned over and is now in the women's league. It is borderline criminal watching him pummel these ladies. Her pummel these ladies.
She crushed somebody's fucking skull. Like, I all right, so like I'm all for
I'm gonna
be
say
who you are. Let's be clear. Amerime does not support any anything.
No.
We encourage people to be who they are. We encourage all of that.
Be
On
who
the
you
flip
are.
side of things, of
Just
people
don't annoy me.
who use these movements, who use these labels as a means for their own narratives, for their own
Mm-hmm.
Personal whatevers, because I can't find the word at the moment, but
Because
when they go ahead,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead, Corey.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Corey.
No, because in Thailand, mind you, Thailand's a very open place when it comes to like being trans. It's a very very open place. They have trans fighters, but they only compete in the division they were born into.
Which makes sense because I mean, why?
Or
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I
at
forget
the end
the
of the day,
name.
here's the thing: they made a cis woman, did not allow a cis woman to compete in the Olympics because she had a higher testosterone than most of the women. And even though she was taking estrogen and trying to bring those levels down and all of that stuff, they still wouldn't let her compete.
And she was a natural woman.
Yes. Natural born woman. I believe she was from Kenya or something like that. Now,
And of course, she was black.
Some people are telling me, oh, it's more so because she was black, not really because of her genetics and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but it's the same thing, though. Because if you're not going to allow this woman to compete, who's a natural born woman, who has, slightly higher testosterone levels than a normal woman, than your average woman, but you're going to let a natural born man who's transitioned into a woman compete, like it make it make sense.
Well, mind you, at the end of the day, that's one fighting federation, and then you have the OIC, the Olympic International whatever
Committee.
I
committee.
will
Yeah.
say, shout out to the one athlete. I don't remember their name. There's a trans athlete.
as of last year or earlier this year, they recently came out as trans, but they said they would continue. They wouldn't transition and continue. They wouldn't transition until they continued and finished with their career before transitioning, rather than
Wow.
I can
transitioning
respect
into
that.
what you call
Hats off. Hats off.
I can respect that. As soon as you get the name, find out. I like to highlight them for our page.
will do.
Please, please and thank you.
And
But
also, like then you got people.
Go ahead, Corey.
no, no, go. I talk too much.
Ain't that the truth?
Well, then you got people who my whole thing is this. Why not just create a trans league where men and women, don't matter, what you transitioned over, where you were, like how you were born, you could just compete, because then that makes everything, it's a level playing field. Everybody's playing, everybody gets to join, everybody's included, and you don't really have to worry about, anybody complaining about anything, because at that point, everybody's the same. You get what I'm saying? And instead of like
Yes.
whining and bitching and moaning, that's just like, all right, Black people, us being upset at the Grammys and the Oscars for nominating, subpar artists or subpar fucking movies and shit with all these white characters, but yet we don't highlight any of the Black ones. We can't sit there and sit there and complain about the shit. No, we need to do what? We need
We
to
have
what do you call it? We need to create our own award shows. We need to create
We do.
and highlight our own people instead of asking and begging and pleading with these fucking people who created these systems that weren't for us in the first place. If like that's the thing that I feel like the alphabet mafia needs to understand. Like, this shit wasn't created for you, and since it wasn't, you got to create your own shit, and it's okay because we all have to do it. This shit was created for straight white men. Period.
Except for the Tony Awards.
Yeah, maybe not the Tony Awards. Well, yeah, no, that definitely, absolutely not. But you get it though. You get it.
But yeah, because the Tony Awards is not built for straight white males. That the straight white males that are in it are very happy to be there, and I think they're made allies by default. Because if
that is true. But yeah, like you know what I mean. This world isn't made to cater to anybody that isn't straight and white. Period. It's not. And at the end of the day, we are being forced to have to create those things, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think more people should be more open to creating those things because it's necessary. It's needed. So if you want to, if you really want more trans people to compete, make a league. Put that shit on Kickstarter. Have the Alphabet Mafia donate and shit and create that shit. Have y'all uniforms, get your little equipment and shit together.
It's one of those situations where it sounds great, but at the same time, they don't want to. Let me clarify. I think they don't want to be looked at as a side. It's almost like this other league. Like they want to be where.
Okay, so my question is this: was BET a sideshow?
No.
Exactly.
I mean, it is now.
It was for us. It was for us. And it's the same thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be a sideshow. They don't even necessarily need to record it or even allow people to record or whatever the case may be. You get what I'm saying? Like, y'all can control the entire narrative and tell the story the way you choose to tell it.
Which reminds me, another real piece of gatekeeping and female bodybuilding. Female bodybuilding is discouraged by the rest of the bodybuilding community.
I could believe it. I mean, I will say some of them women do look a little scary. I wouldn't want to catch them in a dark alley. I'm not going to hold you. Like, these bitches got more muscles than I got titties, It's a lot.
Yeah, but they're nice people.
I mean, they are nice people. Like I said, I just wouldn't want to catch them in a dark alley. You know what I mean? I'll go ahead and have lunch with them.
You'd rather have them as your ally in that dark alley. Trust me.
What'd you say?
You'd rather have them as your ally in that dark alley.
Goddamn right.
Goddamn right. You goddamn right.
Shout
You
out,
know what's crazy?
shout out to Miss Simone.
Hey.
She's an underground bodybuilder out of Ben Salem, PA.
Whoop, whoop,
I,
Pennsylvania.
I see you. But seriously, it's just it's it's a very weird world we're living in, and I think
I fucking hate it here.
eh, as Niko says, this planet is ghetto.
I'm telling you, Earth is ghetto. We were supposed to be out here fucking and eating off the land. That is all we were supposed to be fucking doing. This bullshit, this whole working to live bullshit, this whole having to pay bills bullshit, this was some shit that man created. And wherever that man was, I
Motherfuckers,
want to whoop his ass, okay?
motherfuckers.
Tar and feather that nigga and do that shit in the town square because he needs to be humiliated and see the travesty
And
he is
apparently
committing.
murdered.
Yes.
And apparently murdered.
Definitely murdered.
Because tar and feathering will definitely kill somebody.
Exactly my point. He needs to be killed. He needs to be murdered, but he needs to suffer first. Because he done made
Graphic.
Earth ghetto as hell. Earth is
Motherfuckers
ghetto
decided
as
to
hell
fuck
now.
in the early
That's
90s.
why
Now
the
I gotta
aliens
sit
ain't
here,
fucking with us.
pay bills,
There's
and
a
have
reason why
crippling
we can't
depression.
go past low Earth orbit. They like, you motherfuckers are just doing too much. You sit your asses down. You
What?
grounded.
Not
Fuck
touching
we
that.
need to, hold on.
300
First of all, fuck we need to go out and go past the orbit for so we can colonize the stars.
You already know that's all.
Well,
That's all the colonizers want to do is colonize.
well, that's what Jeff Bezos wants to do.
Can we not?
Colonizer. Time colonizer.
Hey, I mean, that's
See
what he
I did
wants
there?
to do.
See what I did there?
He's-
That man has a mountain. That man has enough wealth to span generations. All right, like, wait, let's end
This
this podcast.
motherfucker could
before I
end world
become
hunger
violently
10
angry.
times and still have money left over.
All of them, all the billionaires can. But let's not talk about how corrupt
But
Rome
guys,
perfectus is.
this was our talk about gatekeeping and cancel culture. I know we went a lot of places.
As
Of
usual.
course, we one of the most important things to happen here is conversation and understanding, and we want to have this conversation continue with you amongst yourselves, and of course, in the comment section. Don't be afraid to contact us. We'll be right back. We'll be right back with our last words.
We ever no other ad breaks?
Oh, we don't have any more. Oh, he was just gonna let me hang out to dry on that one. My nigga,
because
good listen.
he got real quiet.
Yeah,
We
he
got
was like,
two ad breaks.
airball.
Our limit is two.
Since
We used the two. Let's close this shit off.
All right,
It's
since
getting hot in this
we're out of ad breaks, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a quick ad break. Definitely shop Serpentine Fire at serpentinefire.company, soon to be serpentinefire.co. Download our app today on the App Store and Google Play Store. Serpentine Fire 215 on IG and Facebook.
That's Serpentine Fire.
Treat yourself.
Man, well,
Don't treat yourself.
Well, this has been the show. I had a good time. Guess it's time for us to say our goodbyes. You want to start with Demon Engine?
So long, farewell to you, my friends. Goodbye for now. Until we meet again, I say so long, farewell to you, my friends. Join the Demon Army, and yeah, follow my socials. Stay up to date. I'm posting more to let y'all know when I'm streaming and what I'm streaming. My friends started paying me to suffer through certain shit, so y'all get to view that when it happens.
There we go. Your Highness.
And you already know it's the Queen here. You know, go to queennick.art. You already see it. You already know it. Queennick.art. We're gonna have a dope, interesting 1 hour long episode on Tuesday. We're talking about dating and friendships. So this is gonna be a very interesting topic. If you guys have time, definitely tune in at 9 p.m. on Tuesday.
and discuss with us, because I would like to get multiple perspectives, especially from those who don't date heterosexually, because it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting.
Okay. Well, of course, I'm Salty Live 215. You could follow me on Twitch, but more importantly, make sure you're following Amerime Media across Instagram and Facebook. Make sure you give
Instagram,
us,
Facebook, follow the YouTube, all that.
and when it comes to YouTube, make sure you are hitting that subscribe and that bell button. Right now, you can still tune in and check out our sit down with Amir Atari from Epic Meal Time. But until then, Jesus, America, Freedom, Eagle. Caw! And of
For the
course,
glory of Rome.
he must be so him. This is the Amerime Junkies. Please take care of yourselves and each other. Be well.
Love you guys. Peace and blessings.
Hey guys, Demon Engine here, aka the Imposter Waifu, and if you like that video and want to watch more, be sure to check out either video that's on the side of me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and if you want some of this sweet merch that I'm wearing, go to AmerimeMedia.com and hit shop in our menu. Okay, bye!